From the very moment the cameras start rolling, something feels different for Kyle Richards as she steps into season 15 of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, returning to a world where friendships are fragile, loyalties are questioned, and every whispered confession becomes a headline. Sitting down with my channel's own Brice Sander, she doesn't just tease what's ahead, she lets us into a storm of emotions, secrets, frustrations, and explosive confrontations that shake Beverly Hills more intensely than ever before. For years, we've watched Kyle navigate marriages, friendships, fame, and heartbreak, but this new chapter carries a weight that even she admits feels unfamiliar. This time, she isn't just fighting with castmates, she's fighting with the life she thought she'd always have. As the conversation begins, Kyle Richards flashes a small, knowing smile. She confesses she feels better stepping into this season than she did last year. The past two have been some of the hardest of her life. For years, she wondered if she could keep doing the show. The late-night arguments, the public scrutiny, the emotional fatigue, every season pushed her closer to the edge. And yet, here she is again, opening up her story for the world. But the moment the trailer dropped, everyone's attention shifted to one jaw-dropping hint. The moment she mentioned Brad and Angelina, fans spiraled into theories instantly. Was this label official, a clue, a confession? But Kyle laughs it off, insisting it was nothing more than a joke thrown out to distract her castmates, who were circling her with relentless questions about her love life. Still, the damage or the excitement was already done. The internet lit up with speculation. And yes, her love life becomes a major topic. In the premiere, Kyle Richards admits she is free to date now, but she also confesses she isn't dating. Months have passed since filming that scene, yet nothing has changed. She's not on dating apps, she doesn't go out, she doesn't drink, she barely leaves home unless it's for work. She laughs at Rachel Zoe's advice that she should go out 3 nights a week, something that sounds like torture to her. For Rachel Zoe, dressing up is easy. For Kyle, even the makeup feels like too much. She's adjusting to this strange new identity, a single woman, after a lifetime of marriage. The word single doesn't slip off her tongue easily. She's uncomfortable saying it, uncomfortable feeling it, uncomfortable living it. But she says it anyway, forcing herself to embrace a role she never imagined she'd play. Of course, her friends push her, they tease her, they pry, they ask what she wants in a partner. And when backed into a corner, Kyle blurts out the viral line, "Someone who likes sex." It wasn't planned, it wasn't polished, it was said because her castmates simply wouldn't let up. But she has more requirements, and they're surprisingly wholesome. Funny, intelligent, driven, attractive, and most importantly, someone who loves animals. That's her number one. A man who doesn't love animals? Hard no. A man who smokes? Even worse. Erica Jane tells her she needs to start chasing her happiness, but for Kyle, happiness has become something quiet. Peace. The realization she doesn't actually need someone. She was always afraid of being alone, but now she knows she can be. And that realization frees her more than any new relationship ever could. But the biggest question of all, where do Kyle and Mauricio Umansky, better known to fans as Mo, stand? Kyle calls him her life partner, a role that remains no matter what happens to their marriage. They share children, a home history, a life built over decades. She confirms the truth. They're not moving toward divorce, but they're not reconciling either. They simply exist, they support each other, they care for each other, they talk daily, but the needle hasn't moved in any direction. Years of marriage create a complicated web of emotional and practical ties that outsiders rarely understand. Divorce isn't just a signature, it's unraveling a lifetime, and unless they are forced to make a decision, neither is ready. But that doesn't mean everything around them is peaceful. In the trailer, Mauricio appears in a tense conversation with Dorit Kemsley, and the fallout behind the scenes is even bigger than fans expected. Kyle explains the real issue. She knew Dorit had lunch with Mo, but she didn't know about their divorce filing until the media broke the news. The breakdown in communication between the once best friends created a storm of misunderstandings. Kyle insists she encouraged Dorit's meeting with Mo, believing he could help guide Dorit and PK toward a peaceful separation, but she still finds it confusing why her name was pulled into a narrative full of inconsistencies. Memes, texting, meeting times, stories that didn't line up from either side. Their friendship fractured piece by piece. Kyle reveals she finally cut ties with PK, especially when the arguments intensified. She told Mo to pass the message along simply to avoid more chaos. PK apparently found it stupid, but to Kyle the boundaries were necessary. And yet, despite everything, Dorit and Kyle tried to repair their friendship at the beginning of the season. and for a moment, it even seemed to work. They laughed, bonded, leaned on each other. But as filming continued, their steps backward became bigger than their steps forward. By mid-season, tension erupts into what Kyle teases as a fight that rivals the infamous Amsterdam dinner, a moment Bravo fans still describe as one of the most chaotic scenes in RHOBH history. And the feud doesn't just pull in Kyle and Dorit. Erika Jayne gets sucked in too. She interjects herself, insisting it's a three-way issue, leading to even more conflict. By the time BravoCon arrives, their tension is visible to everyone. Kyle hopes things will eventually ease, but she knows Erika is dealing with personal struggles that complicate everything. She feels Erika's anger isn't actually directed at her, it's misdirected from other issues. But acknowledging that doesn't make it easier. And then there's the shocking moment teased in the trailer. Someone lies on camera, boldly, openly, fearlessly. And Kyle calls it out. She refuses to say who it is, only that the person is newer to the group, a rookie mistake, lying while wearing a microphone under full lighting. She tried not to break the fourth wall, but even she couldn't ignore how bizarre it was. She warns fans, the truth will reveal itself and it won't end well. Meanwhile, her complicated friendship with Sutton Stracke takes center stage. Kyle describes a totally different Sutton behind closed doors, kind, loving, funny, supportive. They talk for hours on the phone. They trust each other. But the Sutton who appears on camera sometimes feels like a stranger. The controversial "whose wallet fits" comment still lingers as a shadow over their relationship. And while Sutton grows and reflects deeply this season, becoming more self-aware as she enters a new phase of life, she still has unpredictable moments. The exit of Garcelle Beauvais and the unresolved drama with Abby also leave emotional marks. Kyle hasn't seen Garcelle at all after filming, even though Garcelle said on Watch What Happens Live that Kyle is the one castmate she'd still be friends with if the show didn't exist. That comment hits Kyle unexpectedly. If that's true, why hasn't Garcelle reached out? And speaking of fractures, Anne-Marie Wiley, nicknamed by some viewers as Bose, once described Kyle as cold and unwelcoming. That stung. It stayed with Kyle into the new season, but she tries to put it behind her, giving their friendship a fresh start. Then comes the new blood. Rachel Zoe, one of the most recognizable fashion names in Hollywood, steps into the RHOBH world. Kyle has known her socially but never closely. She never even watched Rachel's original Bravo show. So this is a new journey for both of them, and a dramatic one. When Rachel confesses that someone tried to set her up with Mauricio and Aspen, Kyle is stunned but not threatened. She jokes, "You're too old for him," adding a dash of humor to a moment that could have spiraled into chaos. And Mo's new modeling career? Kyle admits it's weird, especially the suggestive photos, but acknowledges that none of this would be happening if they were still together. Another newcomer, Amanda Francis, enters in a whirlwind, literally moving into Kyle's former Bel Air home. She was being harassed by fans online for making renovations, so Kyle publicly defended her, which led to their first real interaction. But once Amanda joins the cast, her overly confident money queen persona rubs several women the wrong way. She leans heavily on Kyle, especially when tensions rise between her and Erika Jayne. And yes, it gets worse before it gets better. Then there's Natalie, who arrives like a deer in headlights. Shy, cautious, overwhelmed, but she has her moments too, some of which go disastrously. Still, Kyle believes she'll carve out her place eventually. And of course, fans get a healthy dose of Kathy Hilton. Chaotic, unpredictable, funny, and always slightly mysterious. She whispers inside jokes on camera, forgetting she's mic'd, confusing everyone, including Kyle. Her mixture of prim chaos and accidental comedy has become a highlight of the franchise. Meanwhile, Kim Richards, the beloved and often worried about sister, has moved into a new home and is doing well. Kyle beams with relief while talking about her. Her grandchildren bring her joy, and she is finally in a peaceful space. As all of this unfolds, Kyle Richards stands at the center of the storm. Navigating friendships tested by fame, rumors tangled with truth, a marriage suspended in uncertainty, and a cast full of new energies, all while trying to find herself again. She is vulnerable, fierce, emotional, protective, healing, and evolving. This season isn't just drama, it's a transformation.